Alright, in this tutorial we're going to carry on. We've already in previous tutorials shown you how to put in a basement and how to put in the floor system. So we're going to carry on with Bungalow B's first floor plan and show you how to put in some interior details. I've already got my first floor plan open here, and I've added a few more details since the last tutorial. I put in a fridge and a stove, and I've shortened up the wall cabinets to fit around the fridge. All those things are just done using edit. In order to change and put the stove in, I did the exact same as I did with the dishwasher. I did a edit on the cupboard and then replace with symbol, and then the same thing for the fridge, and then I edited the wall cabinets and changed the height of the wall cabinets in order to suit. I've already done a 3D build on it, and this is now what my kitchen looks like. You can see that I don't have any interior details, no wall colors, no flooring on, and you can see a few issues with my kitchen. The soft plan does tend to glitch every now and again, and so some of these things can just be fixed with really just getting rid of the glitches, and then in other spots we need to make some changes. So in this case I've got something hanging down. Could possibly be that it's actually there, but I'm just going to get rid of it. So in here I'm going to I'm going to go to E for erase, and I'm going to click on it and just delete it out. And here I've got a part of a cabinet that shouldn't be here, so I'm going to delete it out as well. This one here, it's actually supposed to be there, and it is actually correct. It's just that it's somehow not showing up correctly. So when this kind of thing happens, sometimes all you need to do is just go to edit. I'm going to click on the cupboard, and I'm just going to, as if I was putting in a new one, say okay. I didn't actually make any changes, but now if I regenerate it, notice that it's actually correct now. And if I rotate around and take a look at the sink, notice that my sink actually extends beyond the width of this cabinet. So I'm going to change the width of this cabinet and the width of this cabinet so that that no longer happens. So I'm going to use my edit tool again. I'm going to click on this cabinet, and I'm going to change it so that the width now, instead of being 30, I'm going to try 28. I think that'll probably do it. Say OK. And now I'm going to change this one and make it 2 inches longer, so it's going to become 29, and hopefully that'll do it. Alright, and now notice that my sink fits in there properly and everything's been adjusted, and so that looks much better. Again, for the cabinets above the fridge, all I did was just edited their height, and similarly you could edit the height of the cabinets above the stove and then insert a symbol for the stove vent and set it so that its height is up at the right level, and it'll look perfect in there as well. So those are some things that you can do in order to improve the look of your kitchen layout and work more towards a level 4 evaluation. Some other things that we can do, maybe in this case I want to change the countertop and make it so that it's got an extension here so that it can be used as an eating bar. Okay, so I'm going to go to edit, click on edit, you need to go to the countertop, and in the rear we're going to change that to be a 12-inch overhang and see if that looks like it's enough. And now we've got this nice overhang, so you could put some stools underneath there using the symbols and show it as a place to eat in the mornings. Okay, so some other things that we're going to do now is to add in some interior details. I'm going to switch back to the floor plan for that. Here we're going to switch from drawing mode to interior mode, and now when I go to the draw menu, I've got a whole different selection of items to choose. So I'm going to go to first I'm just going to put in something for the wall coverings, so I'm going to click on wall coverings. Here I've got paint, wallpaper, wall coverings. These are actually just really placeholders. I've got paint 1, paint 2, paint 3. They may actually all be the same color to begin with, and then what you can do is change it so that paint 1 is one color, paint 2 is another color. It's almost like using layers in AutoCAD. So here I'm going to use paint 1, and I'm going to leave it as auto trace. I'm going to say OK. I'm going to click into here, and it's chosen the entire outline this way, and to me that seems like a good selection set for all to be one color. And notice that in the interior mode it gives this yellow line with these yellow dots, and that tells you that it's the paint one. So I'm going to add some more details. I'm going to go to draw. I'm going to add in baseboard, and you can choose whatever kind of baseboard you want. I'm going to go with something like a square baseboard, and that shows me what the profile of the baseboard will be. And again, I'm going to do auto trace, say OK, and click on there. Now I'm going to add in excuse me, some crown molding. All right, you may or may not want crown molding. You probably don't want any crown molding in your bedrooms, but if you've got a fancier look going in the living spaces, you might want that. So I'm going to go to an American ground mold, and that's what it looks like in profile. You can go and choose any other ones if you'd like. All right, I'm going to go back to here, and again I'm going to do auto trace, say OK, and click into here, and that's going to give me crown molding all the way around. The last thing I'm going to do, and then we'll go and have a look and see what we've got, is to put in some flooring. So in the kitchen area, I'm probably going to want some tile, and then the rest of the living space, I'm going to put hardwood. I myself am not keen on hardwood in the kitchen, so I'm going to do the areas separately. So I'm going to go to tile 1. This time, I don't want to do auto trace because it would do the entire area as tile. So I'm going to do manual trace. I'm going to zoom in, and I'm going to decide where I want the tile. So it's going to be the outline of the entire kitchen. I'm going to go something like that. I could go over to here, but then I'm going to have a spot where if I do hardwood flooring for the other areas out here and down here, down into the living space, then I'm going to have a spot where you'd have to walk across the tile. So I'm going to go to this point and go in. Actually, I can even go in to here and to here and all the way out to here. We'll see if that works. Oh, it wouldn't let me do it because it wasn't a closed area. So I'm going to do it one more time. I'm going to do it a little bit more simply this time. I'm going to go through, across, around, and back, goes in the area. So now that is all tile, and in this case it's actually put the tiling underneath the kitchen cabinets, which is doable, maybe not as likely. What I could have done was to do the area all inside of the kitchen area, and then done a little piece just to extend that through to here. Last thing I'm going to do then is put in some hardwood flooring. So I'm going to go back to flooring. I'm going to go to hardwood flooring here, and this time I'm going to use auto trace and select the rest of the area. So click in here. Now it's put in hardwood flooring everywhere else. So now let's go and have a look and see what this looks like. So I'm going to go to the build. I'm going to regenerate this. If I regenerate it in sketch mode, it's not really going to show me much. All right, so now you need to go to either textured or rendered. Rendered can take quite a while. You're probably also going to want to work just in the quick build rather than the full build when you're doing this kind of stuff, so that it doesn't take as long to render your drawings or to set them as textured. The other thing you need to be aware of is that it takes up a fair amount of computer resources to do the 3D, so it's a good time for your computer to freeze up, so you probably want to make sure that you save things just before you go and do it. However, if you want to see what it looks like first before you save it, then you can do this. So now we can see it, and I'll just do a render on it and see the difference. All right, it just gives you more detail. Now, I don't really care for the color on the walls, so I'm going to use some editing while I'm in 3D mode here. You can do it all in floor plan as well, but it's just easier to do here. So I'm not seeing an awful lot of improvement there. I'm going to stop the regeneration, and what I'm going to do to change the paint color is I'm going to use edit surface. So you can do this to make changes to any of the surfaces at all. It's going to open up this thing, this window, and in it is really all of the materials that you've got in there so far. So we put in some hardwood floor, All these kinds of things went along with the baseboard and crown molding and other things that are the door trims and things like that. It will always start off highlighting uh, the surface that you were meaning to edit. So I'm just going to click on that one. Sorry, I had to double click on it. And this one opens up. I could actually change that paint to look like anything. So I could put in any other materials. I could put in doors. I could put in cabinets. So it's it's actually just symbols or pictures that it's putting in. So I can make it look like anything. But here I'm actually wanting it to be paint. So if I click on there, the paint window opens and I can select any color. And we can go to different color textures and so on. So I'm just going to pick something here, maybe there's some sort of a taupe or something. I'm more of a boring person. I like the taupes. I'm going to say OK, and say OK. And now if we render it, we can see now that it gives the color all the way through. And we can see our hardwood floor. If I don't like the hardwood floor, I can change the style of the hardwood floor. So I'm just going to stop this and we'll do an edit material and change the style of the hardwood floor. So notice that the hardwood floor is just called hardwood 1, and now anything that's hardwood 1 is going to have whatever we have selected here. So I'm going to change my style of the hardwood floor, and I'm going to put it to let's go to something like this, something rather different. That's actually more of a tile look, isn't it? Let's go to more something like, these are all more tile. I want to find some hardwood floors. Something more like that. Say OK. There is actually lots of them in there, so you'll be able to find lots. So there I'm going to say OK. What you can do is go over here and look for flooring for the hardwood. Brings up these different hardwoods. Let's put something more like that. It's got nicer grain to it. Say OK. And say OK. And it's rendering through quickly on the parts that it had already done. It'll slow down as it gets to the other parts. And just while it's rendering, I'm just going to go back. I'm going to turn myself back to drawing mode. And I think at this stage, I'll leave the interior design to you. So now you can see how to put in your flooring, your paint colors, you can put a wallpaper if you'd like. You can put in crown molding and baseboards and so on. And you can do that in each of the different rooms. So you can have you might want to put carpeting in your bedroom, the hardwood floor outside, out in the main areas. You might want to do crown molding in the main areas and not in the bedrooms. Anything like that, you can decide what your interior is going to be. When I go back to interior, I can actually make changes to anything by editing, by clicking on the dot. So the yellow, if you recall, was the paint. I could change the paint. I could go to paint and I can actually change what it is there. Okay, so I could go and select it and change it to some other paint color that I've already selected. And I can do the same thing with the flooring and so on. So you can do your changes there. I'm going to go back quickly, have a look and see what the what my rendered view looks like, and that's what it looks like here. So again, you can get very detailed with it. You can change the style of the countertops. You can change the style of the look of the tile. Change the look of the cupboards. You can do just about anything here. So I'm going to let you play with it from here on through. Good luck.